likes to see a grown man cry? When are we going to stop losing? Yes, it's me again, the Gobby Gaffer, playing Football Manager 2024, and we're currently managing Reading FC, and well, we're in the Premier League, and as you can tell by the intro, it's not going very well. Well, I didn't expect to get off to the brightest of starts. The first two games in the Premier League were Chelsea and Liverpool. We lost both of those, but by a very narrow margin, so I wasn't unduly worried. However, the next game against Brighton in the second round of the Carabao Cup, it was 2-2, went to penalties, and inevitably we got knocked out. But I'm not unduly worried about that. Our main focus this season is avoiding relegation and trying to stay in the Premier League. It's looking increasingly likely that we're not going to do that. Sunderland at home, we got beat 4-2, not great at all. The next game against Manchester United, we went to Old Trafford. We got an absolute pasting 4-0. Kind of expected that one. Chucked a little friendly in there. As you can imagine, the dynamics at the moment, the happiness of the players is, well, it's on the floor basically. So I'm trying to play as many friendlies as I can. Went a nice 7-0 win in that one. And that did perk us up a little bit, to be fair. Home against Notts Forest. And we won 2-1. And then we had an away game against Luton and a 1-1 draw in that one. So I thought, okay, maybe we're turning the tide here a little bit. I've been trying different formations out. I've done away with the wingers. I brought the wingers back. Trying all kinds of things out. Nothing seems to be working at the moment. However, at the end of September, and I'm not quite sure, we're in 2029 at the moment. I'm not quite sure. I have Googled this. There doesn't seem to be any international kind of, like World Cups or anything around. But we had a 4-week break for internationals. So I chucked some friendlies in there and we did really well. And I thought, right. And at that point, dynamics were looking quite good. The happiness was looking really good. And I thought, right, okay, maybe this is it. But no, think again. A home game against West Ham, a 1-0 loss, and an away game against Bournemouth at 2-0. So we're not even picking points up against teams that I would think we should be picking points up against. I did make a signing as the transfer window was going to slam shut. Independiente, 8.5 million. Ayrton Costa. And, well, if you watch my previous videos, you know I've been looking for a kind of dedicated left wing back. And this lad fits the bill really well. Unfortunately, as soon as we signed him, he got injured. And therein lies another one of our problems. The injury list at the moment is kind of off the scale. I don't know whether I've ever seen this in any of my Football Manager saves before. Not only is the AI not letting us play football, not letting us score goals, it's throwing loads of injuries at us, and it's very, very hard to try and keep up with, let me tell you. He's 30 years old, this lad, so he's not a youngster, but I kind of think in the Premier League we do need some experience. So 30-year-old Ayrton Costa, he's a dedicated left wing back. He's not going to play centre back. He's only 5'10", but hopefully we've got somebody there now. So the players that I've signed who can play centre back, left wing back, can now concentrate on playing centre back. Hopefully, because like I say, the injury list is mounting as we speak. And as you can see there, James Trafford, well, actually, I don't know whether you would call him a backup keeper. I've not been using him because Boyce Clarke is a very good goalkeeper. James Trafford has knocked on my door. He wants to leave. I've said he can. It's a bit of a problem because now, as we know, in FM24, goalkeeper injuries are, well, they're running riot, aren't they? And the latest one is James Trafford. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. If we get a problem with Boyce Clarke, well, we could be looking at the Championship sooner than we think. One of the centre-backs is out with a pulled calf muddle. Schlordal, Sangare, the right wing-back, he's out with ankle ligaments. Nicolas Sanchez, the new winger I brought in, sprained ankle ligaments. It's not going well, let me tell you. And the league is looking, well, pretty abysmal. 19th position, 8 games played, 4 points on the board. Now, as you can see there, a couple of wins would move us up quite significantly. But obviously, we're expecting other teams to drop points. And at some stage, I'm guessing Tottenham will pull the socks up and pull away. Villa will pull the socks up and pull away. Sunderland have already beaten us this season. So at this moment in time, it's not looking great. So at this moment in time, job security is not looking too bad. It could be a lot worse. If we get relegated, the board requirement is attempt to avoid relegation. I don't know whether that means I've got to or whether if I get relegated. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I might jump ship before then, to be quite honest, because if you look at all the statistics for wages and transfer budgets and all of that, I mean, obviously Reading are going to be bottom of the league in all of those things, and we are. But it is showing, and at the moment, this team who tore up the Championship last season, and I thought would give the Premier League a fairly good go, and not doing it at all. This team looks, well, it looks a pale imitation of what we saw last season. Anyway, today we've got 2 games against Everton and Newcastle. So, well, let's get stuck in and see if we can put even a couple of points on the board. Would be, well, it'd be an improvement, wouldn't it? We'll see you in the dugout. And just before we kick off today, a little bit of transfer news. It won't go through till the 1st of January, but from Manchester City, a young midfielder, Alfie Harrison. We paid £7.75 million for him, and he kind of looks the business, this lad. He's only young, 23 years old, but I think he'll do a good job for us. Vision of 17, passing of 16. So he's a very creative player, this lad. And of course, coming from Manchester City, he's got a great pedigree. And just a quick look at the finances. We've got just under £1.5 million in the bank. We have had a bit of TV money come through, so that's helped us no end. Transfer budget is still a little bit in there, and I am under the wage budget. Well, not a lot, but I am just under. So we are still playing the Gegenpress. I have tried to change that. I think I went on a counter-attacking system, but that didn't work either, and I'm a little bit unsure. I think if these 2 games go pear-shaped, I am going to have to look at something other than a Gegenpress. I've tried a lot of things. I mean, the downside to that is you're not getting a settled team or formation. I mean, sometimes the upside can be that it does turn things round. It's not doing that for us. And if you look behind me there, we've got a bench, just about. We've got so many injuries and players on fitnesses that, well, it's not funny really. But anyway, so the team for today is Boyce Clark in goal, back 4 of the new lad Costa at left full-back. And we are playing defensive full-backs now. I've done away with the wing-backs. Let's try and keep it nice and tight at the back. The 2 centre-backs are Sorensen and Allegria. He's the lad that we've got on loan. The other centre-back that we brought in is out injured. Pearce is playing the other full-back. Sangare is on a fitness today. So the defence, I mean, if there's any area in your team that you want to be a constant, you want to get used to, each other's playing style, it's defence. And believe me, we cannot get a settled defence. Martin is playing as the DM. Banicic is playing a little bit further forward as the DLP. 2 wingers, Lopez and Jevramovic. And I've got 2 strikers on the pitch today. We are at home against Everton. I would have thought we could be able to do this. We should be able to do this. So we've got Alba as the advance forward and Denny Skull back as the target forward. Both of those back off injury. But Denny Skull, since I last spoke to you, he was out injured. He's had another injury since then. So it's not great, this. And we do need to start getting a settled team and get some settled results. And we do get a highlight straight from the kickoff. And I know 1 or 2 of you out there will probably be saying, given that you're in the Premier League and things are not going well, why don't you play defensive? I don't believe defensive works in Football Manager. I really don't. Whenever I try to play defensive, low block, playing a defensive style, it never works. I always feel that Football Manager appreciates teams that go forward and attack. And, well, that's what I'm doing. It's kind of in my DNA, really. So we've got an attack on here. Jevramovic now. He's running along, but he gives the ball away. We actually get a good tackle in there, and Jevramovic has got. I've no idea where Jevramovic is going. I think he's off back to the dressing room. Even he's fed up. Ball into the box eventually. Dennis Skull gets a header, and that goes nowhere. And that has been a pattern for us. That shot there, and again, that has been a pattern for us. Where last season that ball was going between the two white sticks, this season it's going outside of them, over them. The number of times we've given the ball away, well, I've lost count, to be quite honest. In a game, you lose count the number of times we give the ball away. And a nice take there from Boyce Clark. So an early touch, 5 minutes on the clock, and a nice early touch. But there again, you see, we've just given the ball away. Is this the match engine's way of telling me that even playing against Everton, we are a very poor team? I don't know, I'm not sure. We've given the ball away again there. So nothing is changing. This is exactly what I've been seeing. The ball's in the back of the net. There's no linesman's flag. We're losing 1-0 and 5 minutes on the clock. I'm not quite sure what to do about this. If this carries on, we're heading straight back down to the Championship. Whether I get fired or whether I jump, I don't know. I'm not sure at this moment in time. But I'm doing the best that I can. I think I brought some decent players in. You would think at some stage the game would turn around and start giving me a few points. But it's not. The game is really, really doing its best to work against me. And that brilliant team that we had last season that ripped up the Championship, well, it's just non-existent now. So, of course, the damage has been done there. First 5 minutes, we were absolutely battered. Damage has been done. Everton winning 1-0. The next highlight we get now is on 21 minutes. Are we going to be allowed to score a goal? I don't know. OK, Nacho Martin now with the ball. We have to try and stay positive. But in the Premier League, as we know, it's the hardest league in the world. And there again, we've given the ball away again. And I'm pretty sure this is the match engine's way of telling me that my team is not very good at all. And even against lower ranked teams in the Premier League, we're not going to do well. And there's a chip over the centre-back. We're 2-0 down, 22 minutes on the clock. And, well, I think changes are going to have to be made. And I'm maybe going to have to do something that I don't really want to do. And that is start playing with a low block and go really defensive. I don't think it'll work. It's never worked for me before. But this cannot carry on because we're going to be rock bottom of the Premier League with very little chance of getting it away from there. And I don't know why we're continuing to watch goals being scored against us on replays, because that's horrific. OK, another chance of trying to pass a ball to a blue and white hoop shirt. Here we go. It's not even about scoring goals at the moment. It's about being able to pass a ball straight and pass it to a home shirt. Lopez now. Can he pass the ball to a home shirt? Jevramovic. Ball's in the back of the net. Dennis Skull there. Second goal of the season. Now we have done that. We have done that in quite a few games, but they've always been flagged offside. So again, match engine working against me. But we are back in it. It's 2-1 now, and this was not a bad little move. So what I was saying there at the beginning of that, at the beginning of the move was we need to find players. That pass needs to start finding a blue and white hoop shirt. If we can do that, we've got half a chance of putting a move together. Right, who's this now? Who's going to take this? He's adjusting his socks or his laces. Banicic now. Can he put this in the top corner? And that looked like it clipped the post. So we don't get the equaliser. To be fair, I don't think we deserve an equaliser. Not on the match engine. Looking at the match engine, we're absolutely awful. Back again with another Everton highlight. That's going to be in the back of the net. Yes, it is. No linesman's flag. The referee has got his arm in the air, though. Maybe VAR will help us out here. It looked like he might have been in offside position, but I don't know. If it's 3-1 before the break, then that it's awarded. So it's 3-1 before the break now, and this game is dead and buried. Just before half time. Very, very poor defending. Very, very poor defending. So again, I'm going to say you've been terrible so far. Please sort it out. I am running out of ideas, I have to say. Running out of ideas. Let's bring the young kid on, Lee Dilly, up front. Let's see if he can play with Dennis Skull. I'm not quite sure what to do. Allegri's on a 6.3 at the back. Let's bring Cresswell on for him. He's on a yellow. So we are going to stay on attacking for this game, but I think for the next game we are going to have to change the tactic because this just isn't working, is it? I think we are going to have to go into a low block, hold shape, and just try and get some, even if we sneak a point here and there, it's points on the board. We're desperate for them. And again, another loose ball there. A blue and white hoop shirt fails to find a blue and white hoop shirt, comes straight back us. It's 4-1. Oh my word. I'm not usually lost for words, but this is awful. I really honestly thought after that run of friendlies, a game against Everton at home, we might have had a chance of just getting a point, just a point. No, we're getting absolutely battered. So this game is gone now. I mean, can we get a consolation goal? Lopez now floats the corner in. I mean, that is headed in the back of the net. And the linesman's flag again stays down. So I think the match engine is saying, you're well beaten here. We will give you a couple of goals. So Omar Pearce there heads the ball in the back of the net and it's 4-2. 65 minutes and, just freshen it up a bit. I mean, it's probably not the greatest idea because I've taken two players off there who are playing really well. But Cruz and Traore have come on the wings. Fresh legs. Can we hit these two lads up front? Please, anything? Just hit them with a ball and hopefully it'll go in off the backside. Anything will do at this stage. But we do come back, 72 minutes, and it's another Everton highlight. Is that going in the back of the net? No, it's headed over that one. So we do escape a fifth goal there. But this is absolutely awful. We're just going to have to hope that the teams around us are losing as well. Because that's our only hope. If we can start picking up a little bit of momentum, at the moment it looks very unlikely. But we do need those teams around the bottom area there to be playing as badly as we are. And a header there straight into the goalkeeper's arms. I mean, it's poor. It's very, very poor. It's very frustrating to watch this. After last season in the Championship where we were absolutely brilliant, this season, I mean, it goes to show, doesn't it, how far ahead the Premier League is. The Premier League is absolutely miles and miles ahead of the Championship. And there we go. In off the post. We've lost 5-2. Absolute shambles and a disaster. So we are still being put through the misery. And there's 7 minutes of time added on. And it's a corner for us. It makes no difference whatsoever if we score this. We have scored it. Yao Cruz there has just come on. It's 5-3 now, but I mean, come on. We've scored 3 goals in the Premier League and let 5 in. I mean, what does that tell me? Maybe the defence is an absolute shambles. We can score goals, but when you're letting them in at that rate at the back, then you're on to a loser, aren't you? So, of course, and you do have to look at the things that are, like team talks and little things that are said within the game. Like a good one is, when you're on an unbeaten run and the game comes up and says, oh, your team's on a 9, 10, 11 game unbeaten run. You know for a fact you're going to lose the next game or the game after. So this one is now saying, we were the underdogs out there. You gave it your best. Good effort, lads. Assistant, that's what the assistant recommends. I mean, no, I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with that. It was awful. Okay, we have got another game coming up, but I'm just going to go away now, scratch my head a little bit and trying to come up with something that stops the... If we can stop the ball going in at the other end, we've got a point. So I think that's my goal. Stop the ball going in at the other end and start trying to get some points on the board. We'll see you very shortly. Well, welcome along to St James Park, and today, we're playing Newcastle. they're in third place. They were top before the latest round of games, so this is going to be, I think, an impossible task. So I have changed the tactic. I've had a word with the assistant manager, and he's come forward and said wing play. There's not an awful lot I can do about this. I don't have enough midfield players to pack the midfield. This team has been set up to play in a style, so I've got like 4 wingers at least. I've got 3 strikers. So we set up to attack. So until such time I can get some money in a transfer window, then there's not a lot I can do. So we are going to go with a wing play. We're going to play with a low block. We're going to try and hold on to possession. We're going to try and do everything to stop Newcastle from scoring. Whether it'll work, I have no idea. Boyce Clark in goal. Back 4 of Costa, Abbey and Cresswell. Yep, last season's centre-back partnership. Abbey and Cresswell, they're back. The new lads are just not doing it. Pearce is the right wing back. We have 3 in midfield. Martin, Banicic, and actually Sorensen is a centre-back. I've moved him to a ball-winning midfield player. I don't know. I don't have enough players to play in that position. So wingers are Lopez and Jevramovic, and we just got the 1 striker, Dennis Gould. And as we kick off today, I've just had one of those silly messages that I was talking about in the previous game. My assistant manager says he hates this defensive formation that we've set up. What am I meant to do? Shall we put 11 centre forwards on the pitch then and get battered 25-0? I don't know what to do. Newcastle have set off like a runaway train. 6 shots, 2 on target. The XG is quite low though, 0.26. We've had a couple of shots but not doing very much with them at the moment. And we do get highlights. I was just going to say, if we didn't get any highlights in this game and came away with a point, I would be chuffed to little mint balls. But no, we do get one. And 10 minutes to half time. And here we go now, Newcastle. And a full house at St James Park. I'm sure are going to watch Newcastle beat us. So anyway, here we go now. Third place Newcastle, just building from the back. Sven Botman there. And they're just trying to tease us, torment us. I'm sure they will click into gear in a minute. And Frimpong there now down the wing. He has got somebody who can put a tackle in, but he doesn't. Headed ball, and we do get away with one there. Hits the post, hits the keeper, but actually stays out of the net. Jevramovic, as per usual, gives the ball away. It's a foul. Free kick. Tonali into the box. We get that one headed out. Nacho Martin now just hoofs it anywhere. I mean, what we need at the moment is composed, calm play, don't we? Put your foot on the ball, look for a pass, but no, we hoof it out. The ball comes straight back at us, and there's and they've hit the post again, but it is in the back of the net, and we're losing 1-0. So you could see where that highlight was going. Yep, predictable, isn't it? Predictable. So I'm not saying that this tactic is a failure. I mean, obviously playing at Newcastle, it's a tough place to go. But we get to half-time, it's only 1-0, you never know. Well, I'm going to try what my assistant manager has recommended. You've been unlucky so far. I think we've been incredibly lucky. The ball's hit the post twice. They all look to gain confidence from that. We shall see. Can we actually put the ball in the back of net at the other end? The statistics would say not. We've had 2 shots and nothing on target. We come back now. Just under 50 minutes on the clock. Tonali now with Newcastle. It's another highlight for the home team. Ball forward there. And we just don't seem to be... You see a ball headed forward there. Who did he think he was heading that ball forward for? He's the furthest player forward. He can't head it on for himself, can he? Okay, a ball onto this right side again. Frimpong down this side. Gets the ball in the box. And, well, we do get away with one there. I think it is going to be a corner, however. So Tonali floats the ball to the far post. We do get head on that. Dennis Gould heads the ball out. Jevramovic there, he had the ball and he was running, but obviously nobody to play to, so it wasn't a highlight. Put the flags out. We've got a highlight. Costa now. What's he going to do? Right, you need to pass it to a purple shirt. Pass it to a purple shirt, lads. I mean, that's the complete opposite of what I was shouting there. Pass it to a purple shirt, so you pass it to a black and white shirt. Okay, I mean, we can see where this season's going, I think, can't we? It's just not turning round, is it? This is always going to be a tough game. The problem is, the games where I would have expected us to pick up points, we haven't done. In fact, we've got battered in most of them, which is a very, very poor indication. Frimpong now pushes the ball in there to the far post, and Hoyland there puts the ball in the back of net. It's 2-0. It's quite hard to take this. Quite hard to take. I had such a great season last season, and this is, well, it's pitiful, isn't it? I don't know why we're watching this horror show. Highlight from the kickoff. We very nearly give the ball away there from the kickoff. We do give the ball away. So Ramos now, and the ball's coming forward. I kind of feel like turning the camera off now. Let's just turn the camera off and, I don't know, can we jump to the end of the game? This is awful. Absolutely awful. 3-0. So even a low block, playing defensively, trying to keep it tighter at the back, full-backs on defend duties, even that is making no difference whatsoever. A 3-0 defeat here, minimum. Goal awarded. Awful. Again, don't want to watch a repeat of that horror show. 64 minutes. Let's just try and not have this embarrassing. Taking the wingers off now. I don't think wing play is going to work for us, but I have a lot of wingers. I don't know what I'm meant to do. So we've gone very, very tight through the middle now. The wing backs are on defending. I mean, Dennis Skull is looking very tired. Let's bring Albert on for him up top. I really don't know. Let's bring Sangare on. He's on a fitness, but I don't know. And let's bring Callahan. Can I make another one? Yes, I think I can. Callahan on the other side. We've got fresh legs on the pitch now. We've gone very, very defensive now. This is very, very alien to me. I've never played Football Manager like this before. We are ultra defensive now. We've had 2 shots all game. XG of 0.22. Newcastle have absolutely run riot. And we do come back to another Newcastle highlight, and it's a corner. Set piece there. We've now got beat 4-0 at the very least. I don't know when I've ever been so deflated in Football Manager. Horror show. And there we go. A final score of 4-0 at Newcastle. I don't know what to say to them. I mean, we were the underdogs out there. See, you say what the assistant manager wants you to say. We were the underdogs. You did okay, lads. No, they all seem to lose focus and they're switched off. So the players appear to be thinking, right, that was a bad performance and we should have won that. Say the wrong thing? I don't know. Fortunately, at the moment, we do have a team just as bad as us, Leicester, Stoke actually as well, all on 4 points, although Stoke do have a game in hand. But Sunderland, Tottenham, Villa and Wolves are 3 points ahead of us. I mean, 3 points, we'll be lucky to get 3 points in 3 games, to be honest. We ain't going to win any games. So it's looking very, very dire at the moment. And well, you know, I love those 6-point episodes. We certainly didn't get one today. And actually, with this Reading team, I don't think we're going to get one all season. It's looking very, very dire here at Reading. And I have got some serious decisions to make about my future. Even if I stay here, we need to sort some kind of formation out that's going to stop that ball hitting the back of the net. I said it before the Newcastle game. It was always going to be a difficult game, but we need to stop that ball hitting the back of our net. And at the moment, no matter who I play there, what formation, what system, it just isn't happening. Hold the phone. The board want a word. The board wish to hold a meeting with you regarding your position at the club. Your performance hasn't been good enough and your position is under serious threat. So obviously, attempt to avoid relegation. I actually have to avoid relegation. Failure to attend the meeting will result in the board terminating your contract with the club. So let's attend the meeting, shall we? We're not happy with your current performance. You think I am? And considering your position at the club, we would like to know why you think the team have performed so badly. So I don't think I can promise anything. I don't think there's any convincing to be done. I think all I can do is maybe say we've had a difficult run of games, or we've had a lot of injuries and need more time to fix the damage they've inflicted. And I think that probably is right. If you remember, beginning of the season, both my main strikers were out injured, and both of them are actually coming back off injury. So maybe not surprising that they're not scoring goals. I think we're going to say that one. So the board come back with a counter offer. The number of injuries in the squad isn't that bad. Oh, okay then. Would you like to, Lee Jin, would you like to take over then and see what you can do? We do not see that as a valid reason. Okay, so trying to compromise didn't work. Ask for a chance. Am I begging for my job here? I've done so much for the club in my time here and deserve another chance. And I think I have. I think this is a bit unfair, if I'm honest. I mean, maybe relegation to the Championship and rebuild again to come back. But I'm not even getting the chance. I'm going to ask for a chance and see what they say. We are sorry that it's come to this, but we have no other choice but to fire you. We would rather it didn't have to come to this, but we wish you all the best for the future. Gobby Gaffer, not so gobby. Well, that went pear-shaped really quickly, didn't it? I didn't expect that. I thought I'd been given a few more games. It was attempt to avoid. It wasn't you must avoid relegation at all costs. It was attempt. Okay, well, the job hunt begins here. Stay tuned.